Hey guys, DarkheroJosh here. Now, I know most of you guys are going to react when seeing this video, and yes, this is another video dedicated to justifying this new evolution of Kaisers in this match. So without further ado, let's get straight into this video. So let's first talk about the main catalyst that led to this evolution, which would ultimately be due to Isagi, specifically his two-gun volley shot. After Isagi made this destructive shot, Kaiser was furious, being that not only will Isagi's value increase if he learns to master that type of shot, but he was also on track to take over Bastard Munich. In rage and fear that Isagi was going to make him the Naked King that he said he'd make him, he tells Ness that he needs to perfect that impossible weapon, which we later find out in that chapter that it's the Kaiser Impact Magnus shot. A shot that combines the speed and power of the original Kaiser Impact, but the curve of the shot so nobody would be able to stop his shots. Now in chapter 259, we know that the shot did not go the way it was supposed to, and he missed the net entirely, causing him to have a legit crash out moment in the middle of the field for like the third time now. We then see that after getting the ball again, after Ness managed to pass the ball, he decides to stop the ball for a split second so he can pull off the Magnus shot, but we once again see the shot fail as Rin quickly catches up to Kaiser to shut him down. After Kaiser hits the craziest flop in history, Isagi just makes this guy's day worse by stating that as of this moment, Bastard is no longer his team, as he proceeds to little bro Kaiser and tells him to kneel before him, calling him a shitty clown. We see Noah from the bench seeing this confrontation, telling him to compete against Isagi's ego, saying that he won't find the evolution he seeks until he reaches rock bottom first, or zero, which just so happens to be the title of the next chapter. What a surprise. Anyways, we see that Isagi's plan to devour Kaiser is to rile him up more so he can confirm to get into his head and easily predict his movements and ultimately guarantee his own goal. But Kaiser, on the other hand, with this pressure from Isagi being put on him, has made his mind and body remember the feeling he felt during his childhood while he was with his father, the same feeling of discomfort and hopelessness. As he thought he'd gotten over his past already, it seems that he just buried it deep inside of himself. Kaiser needs to beat Isagi and surpass him before he loses everything, being his very existence is being threatened to crumble by him. As he tries to once again steal the ball back from Isagi, we see Ness try to talk to him, telling him to stop making irrational plays, being that he's already gotten a goal in every match up until this point, and even got an offer from Larell. So Ness says that he thinks they should just wait patiently for him to get his goal, reminding him that he still has him by his side. But Kaiser furiously looks at him, being that if they lose, all of that will disappear. The whole world is watching this match, watching him as he recklessly tries to score and ultimately beat Isagi and prove to the world that he's superior to him. If he loses here against Isagi, being king of Bastard Munich, his offer from Larell, everything that he worked so hard to achieve in his career will disappear, and he'll go back to being subhuman. At this moment, he realizes that he's afraid of losing everything he's worked for, and going back to that world he grew up in, his father's house, being abused and being called subhuman, that hellhole as he describes it. I don't think a lot of people realize or understand the conditions and even constant pressure that is on Kaiser. Kaiser playing on a team built on rationality, no less, but due to this fear being brought back by Isagi, is causing him to play more desperately and irrationally, all to score and to prove not only to the world but also to himself that he isn't subhuman. If we compare it to every time Isagi's lost to Rin, he didn't feel like he'd lose everything he'd worked for. In fact, he'd always use it to get better, but he was never under the conditions where he felt like if he slipped up and couldn't prove himself that he'd go back to being a nobody. Kaiser, on the other hand, always felt like he needed to be the best, or even one little thing could cost him his whole career and whole new life that he's worked for. Kaiser was an unwanted baby, a painful reminder of someone's mistake. He kept stealing to acquire his wealth and glory to get to where he is now, thinking that he'd become more human, but now he's afraid of losing everything to Isagi. He isn't playing like he usually is to steal the things that he desires to ultimately become the best striker in the world, but is just playing not to lose. He picked fights he knew he could win, and it made him end up comfortable with his current self, playing it safe on his throne instead of aspiring to achieve even greater heights. He thought he'd already reached the top of the mountain, so he didn't think there was any point in picking fights that could threaten his superiority on the throne. But where he is now, isn't a place where people around the world would consider him the best striker in the world. It's then where he realizes that if he continues to play the way that he is, playing to protect his past achievements, it won't help him grow. So he then decides to discard all of it. The joy he felt about being more human, his past achievements, his pride, everything he's won, he'll throw it all away and become zero and hit rock bottom. He asks himself what it is that he most desires. What is the thing that he wants to protect now? The first thing he ever wanted for himself. Digging deep into his past to find the origin of his ego, being his first soccer ball. The thing that even when he hit it or kicked it against the wall with all he had, it wouldn't cry or get angry. The thing that would be there without saying anything. A piece of shit like himself. Discovering this, our fallen emperor is not down for the count just yet and is now ready to reclaim his throne from Isagi. As Kaiser's movements start to change, Isagi starts to make a play with Kurona and Hiyori to make a breakthrough. But before the pass could connect to Hiyori, we see Kaiser intercept it. Instead of being fixated on Isagi and pressing him, he decided to scan the entire field to predict their attacks. As Ness tells Kaiser that he's wide open, we then see something unexpected as he chooses to pass the ball to Raichi. For Kaiser to climb to greater heights, he needs to discard what he has or what he already knows and reset himself. Passing to Ness would have been more comfortable for him knowing the certainty of his loyalty towards him, but he knows Ness's boundaries more than anyone else on the field and in general what he's capable of. Deciding to pass to Raichi is something new, something he isn't familiar or comfortable with, but will definitely bring about something greater if he does. This also tells the team that Kaiser isn't just being selfish anymore or only working with Ness and is willing to work with the rest of Blue Lock. He's taking over the team full of Blue Lockers that Isagi worked so hard to create for himself to rule. I love this because it creates the constant parallel to both Kaiser and Isagi and how they were from the beginning of the league up until now. From the team being majority of Bastard Munich players with it revolving around Kaiser to now being the team revolving around Isagi with majority of Blue Lock players. As Raichi decided to pass back to Kaiser to make the 1-2, Isagi is taken by surprise by the fact that Kaiser decided to throw away his pride, something not even Baro was able to do way back in the second selection when Isagi broke him, as he still maintained its pride and decided that even if the main actor isn't himself, he can still be relevant and shine and score goals as the villain of the story. Rin quickly shuts Kaiser down and steals the ball from him, but instead of losing his cool because of this, he finds interest in it. What he is currently going through isn't some impulsive train of thought, but only occurs to those who are greedy enough to achieve further success, the turning point of one's identity, while simultaneously being destroyed and being rebuilt. He tells himself to stop playing it safe and just keep searching for ways that will push him to even greater heights. The reason why he's able to think like this is because of Isagi, so he thanks Isagi for giving him this hardship. We later see Kaiser manage to steal the ball from Nanase before he could even react. Isagi realizes that Kaiser isn't going straight for him, but taking the chance to go for any cracks that appears when PXG is trying to stop him or his allies like Hiyori or Kurona, sort of like third partying him in a sense. He then uses Kunigami as a post player to give him a quick 1-2 to get by Choppa, knowing that Kunigami has his hands full with Shido. As of this moment, Kaiser has completely grasped the state of the game by manipulating his team and their situations. He's adapting to the situation, an egoist who is willing to destroy and rebuild himself as many times as it takes if it means to achieve his own goals, a holistic ego type like Isagi. As Kaiser has the ball, he is then stopped again by Karasu and Rin, and loses the ball again. As the loose ball is in the air, it falls to Ness, who tells Kaiser that he's still with him as he sends a pass to him, with the idea in mind of giving him a pass that makes use of Kaiser's Magnus shot. But as he sends this pass, Kaiser lets it go by him, and Kiora manages to get the ball. Kaiser takes this opportunity to become more than a zero now, as he runs towards and circles around Kiora. For Kaiser to shine, he needs to bring about factors that bring discomfort. If he keeps playing it safe and picks fights he knows he'll win, he won't be able to survive, and until the day he dies, he'll endure any amount of discomfort he needs to. As of right now, the field is under Isagi's control, so in other words, conditions that are not favorable towards him. So to turn the tables around, he'll need to break past the discomfort crowd that is in his way to where his freedom lies about. As Kiora makes a decision on who to pass to, he then passes the ball, and as it looks like a high-speed ground pass to Isagi that left Kaiser in the dust, we then see the ball had some backspin as it goes back to Kaiser, seeing that he actually chose Kaiser instead. As the ball is in front of Kaiser, we see both Rin and Charles ready to stop him, and as Kaiser sees that the ball is going to stop, he then sees that it'll be in place, fitting all the conditions needed for his new Magnus shot. Realizing this, Kaiser decides to shoot the ball as we see the luck puzzle piece that appeared for Isagi in the U20 appear for Kaiser now, as it looks like it's begun to take his side as the chapter ends. Now, for those who think that Kaiser doesn't deserve to score and he shouldn't be scoring in this match are really hating on bro. This is good build up for him to score, just like they did with Bar on the Ubers match, and with his new shot no less. This man is rebuilding himself while destroying his old self simultaneously. He's moving away from his comfort zone in order to change and adapt, and is literally showing to be a direct parallel to Isagi's whole character and ego type. So if y'all really think that him scoring after this chapter would be considered bad writing, it just goes to show that y'all don't treat Blue Lock like the football manga it is and is expecting a pure battle shonen from it. Now, having Kaiser ready to score does look a bit skeptical, because usually when the author shows a character getting a goal, it would be in the same chapter, but nonetheless, I'll continue to have faith and hope that Kanshiro knows what he's doing and gives this man Kaiser his goal that we've been waiting for the past 10 chapters or so. Now, that's all I've got for you guys today about this new and rebuilt version of Kaiser. So if you guys did enjoy this video, then please leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and comment down below what other things Blue Lock do you guys want me to talk about next on the channel. And without further ado, I hope you guys have a great day, and see ya.